You reach for your phone before your eyes are even fully open. No thought, no decision, just reflex. For the average person, this happens in under 7 minutes of waking up, sometimes less. And it's not a habit, it's something your brain was quietly trained to do one notification at a time over years. So, what would actually happen if you stopped not for an hour, not for a day, for 30 full days? Your brain would fight you hard. And the reason why has almost nothing to do with willpower. Start with what's really happening every time you unlock your screen. You're not checking for information, you're checking for a reward you can't predict. Sometimes there's a message, sometimes there's nothing. That unpredictability is the entire trick. In the 1950s, psychologist B.F. Skinner ran a now famous set of experiments with pigeons and a lever. Press the lever, sometimes get food, sometimes get nothing. That's called a variable ratio reinforcement schedule, a fancy way of saying the reward comes at random. The pigeons didn't just keep pressing the lever. They pressed it obsessively, far more than when the reward was guaranteed every time. Why would randomness make behavior stronger than certainty? Because your brain isn't built to chase rewards. It's built to chase the possibility of a reward. Uncertainty keeps the system alert, hungry, checking. Your phone runs on the exact same mechanism. Every pull to refresh, every red notification, every unopened message is a lever. And you are the pigeon. Stanford psychiatrist Anna Lembke has spent years studying this pattern in her research on dopamine, the brain chemical linked to motivation and anticipation, not just pleasure like most people assume. Dopamine doesn't spike when you get the reward. It spikes right before, in the moment of not knowing. That's the itch that makes you check. Not curiosity, chemistry. Now picture day one of your 30 days without checking. You wake up. Your hand moves toward the nightstand out of pure muscle memory, and there's nothing there. A small flicker of unease moves through your chest. Not sadness exactly. Something closer to static, like a radio tuned to a station that isn't broadcasting anymore. You get up anyway. You make coffee. Your hand drifts toward your pocket 4 times before you've even finished your first cup. And every single time, there's a half second of genuine confusion. Where did it go? What did I miss? That feeling has a name. Researcher Eyal, who spent years studying what makes products habit-forming, describes this exact loop in his work on what he calls the hook model. A trigger prompts an action. The action delivers a variable reward. And over time, you start investing more of yourself into the loop, which makes the next trigger even harder to ignore. Your phone isn't accidentally addictive. It's engineered around this exact loop, tested and refined by teams whose job is to maximize how often you come back. So on day one, you're not just missing your phone. You're missing the loop itself. Here's where it gets stranger. In a 2017 study, researcher Adrian Ward and his team at the University of Texas found something almost nobody expects. They didn't even need people to use their phones to see cognitive performance drop. They just needed the phone to be nearby on the desk screen, down, powered off. Compared to people whose phones were in another room, the people with a visible phone performed measurably worse on tests of memory and focus. Let that sit for a second. The phone doesn't have to buzz. It doesn't have to light up. Just knowing it's within reach quietly siphons off a portion of your attention, keeping a small background process running that whispers, check me, check me, check me. Ward called this a kind of brain drain. Part of your mental bandwidth stays reserved for the possibility of the phone, even when you're doing something else entirely. So imagine what removing it for 30 days actually frees up. By around day 4 or 5, something shifts. The static starts to quiet down. You notice it first in small, almost embarrassing ways. You finish a paragraph in a book without your eyes sliding to the corner of your vision. You sit through an entire meal without the itch to glance down. A thought arrives, and instead of dissolving the second your phone appears, it actually gets to finish. You didn't know your thoughts had been getting interrupted mid-sentence for years. You just thought that was what thinking felt like now. Does that mean the craving disappears completely? Not exactly. It shows up in new places. You reach for your phone in line at the grocery store and remember again that it's not there. But the panic is gone. What's left is something closer to boredom, an old, almost forgotten sensation standing in a line with nothing to do but stand there. Researchers who study attention have long noted that boredom isn't actually empty. It's the space where your mind starts wandering into its own ideas instead of borrowing someone else's feed. Some of your most original thinking has probably been getting quietly crowded out by 30 seconds of scrolling over and over thousands of times a year. Here's the counterintuitive twist. You'd expect 30 days without your phone to feel like deprivation, like something is being taken from you. It's the opposite. The deprivation was already happening every single day before you stopped. You were being pulled out of your own life in tiny increments so consistently that you stopped noticing the pulling. The variable reward loop wasn't giving you connection. It was renting your attention back to you in small, addictive doses and charging you your focus, your sleep, and your ability to sit with a single, uninterrupted thought. 30 days without checking doesn't take something away from you. It gives something back. Now think about your own day right now today. How many times has your hand already moved toward your phone since you started listening to this? Was it because something happened, or because of that same old itch, that same unpredictable little lever, pulling at you exactly the way it was designed to? You don't need 30 days to test this. You need 1 hour phone in another room and the willingness to sit through the static until it quiets down. That static isn't boredom. It's your attention coming back online, one uninterrupted minute at a time. Your hand is probably near your phone again right now. Notice it. That's not a habit. That's your brain, quietly trained, still waiting for the lever to pay out.